So our next topic is a new topic, very important and interesting chapter, and of course difficult also, because so many formulas. So in single problem we need to use many different formulas. So important, interesting and difficult topic, and very useful for your future studies. So today, because so many students are yet to join, I will give some basic fundamentals which you studied in the lower classes. Then actual trigonometric definitions and all we will come later. We will discuss later. First, let me discuss about angle which you have studied in the lower classes. Even from 6th class onwards, you studied about the angle. See here. This is a ray and this is also a ray. Two rays having a common end point. Two rays having a common end point, this forms an angle. This is the angle. If two rays having a common end point, then they form an angle. And these two are called sides of the angle. So this is the angle, and you know how to measure the angle also. With the help of protractor we can measure the angles. And this is the angle. These two are the sides or arms of the angle. So write the first point, angle. Write down. Union of two rays. Union of two rays. Union of two rays having a common end point. Union of two rays having a common end point is called an angle. Union of two rays having a common end point is called an angle. Continuation. The common end point is called its vertex. The common end point is called its vertex. The common end point is called its vertex. The two rays are called its arms or sides. Two rays are called its arms or sides. You can draw this diagram to represent the angle. So this is the angle. Actually, to measure any quantity, so we need units. To measure the length, we have meters, centimeters, feet. Like that we have different units in different systems. CGS system, MKS system, like that we have different systems. So here also to measure the angles, we have the three different systems. So we can measure the angle in degrees, in grades, in radians. But we don't have grades in this topic. So actually we have only one system in this chapter, that is degrees. So we always measure the angle in degrees. So using the protractor there will be 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degrees, 90 degrees up to 180 degrees. So you can see the degrees in a protractor. So we measure the angle in degrees. Of course, we also measure in radians, but it is not there, but I will introduce both. So write down. The units for measuring the angle are degree, radian and grades. This we are not discussing. Units for measuring the angle. Degree is the unit for measuring the angle. Radian is also unit for measuring the angle. So these two we may come across in the problem. So I will give the relation between these two. So pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. So write down this relation between radians and degrees. We don't require these grades. So this is sufficient. Pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. But mostly we use degrees only. Any rare cases we may use radians. So that relation also I give. So write down this as the second point. Units for measuring the angle are degree, radian, grades. But we are discussing about these two. The relationship between these two is for 1 meter like 100 centimeters like that. So we have that unit, the conversion, no? Same way 1 radian is equal to 100 degrees. 1 radian is equal to 100 degrees. Write down the third point. See here, if the angle is between 0 degrees to 90 degrees, all this you studied in the lower classes, just I am doing the revision in this first class, so that after knowing these basics, then we will go enter into the chapter. The angle between 0 to 90 degrees is called acute angle. The angle between 0 to 90 degrees is called acute angle. Don't write, I will tell detail. So if the angle is 90 degrees, it is called right angle. Right angle means 90 degrees. So angle between 90 degrees to 180 degrees is called obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. So 180 degrees is called straight angle. Straight. Because on a straight line, total angle will be 180 degrees. So it is called straight angle. So more than 180 degrees is called reflex angle. And 360 degrees is called complete angle. Complete angle. That means if you complete, this total angle will be 360 degrees. If you draw a straight line, perpendicular line, this is 90 degrees. This total is 180. This total is 360. So the angle between 0 to 90 degrees is called acute angle. You should know this because in the complete chapter, so we may use this. So angle between 0 to 90 degrees is acute, 90 degrees is right angle, 90 to 180 is obtuse angle, 180 degrees is straight angle, more than 180 is reflex angle, 360 degrees is complete angle. So now we have not entered actually into in this chapter. So first I am giving some definitions about the angles because this chapter is related to the angle. Write down the third point. Angle between 0 degrees to 90 degrees is called acute angle. Angle between 0 degrees to 90 degrees is called acute angle. Angle between 0 degrees to 90 degrees is called acute angle. 90 degrees is called right angle. 90 degrees is called right angle. Remember these definitions throughout this chapter. 90 degrees is called right angle. Right angle means 90 degrees. 90 degrees to 180 degrees is called obtuse angle. 90 degrees to 180 degrees is called obtuse angle. 90 degrees to 180 degrees is called obtuse angle. 180 degrees is called straight angle. 180 degrees is called straight angle. More than 180 degrees is called reflex angle. More than 180 degrees is called reflex angle. 360 degrees is called complete angle. 360 degrees is called complete angle. So acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, reflex angle, complete angle. Now, suppose we have 30 degrees and 60 degrees. If you add two angles and if you are getting 90 degrees, if sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are called complementary angles. Complementary means sum is 90 degrees. Suppose if one angle is 30, other will be 90 minus 30, that is 60. Like that. If one angle is theta, other will be 90 minus theta. So that the sum of the two angles should be 90 degrees. This is also very important concept in our chapter. So complementary angles means sum of two angles is 90 degrees. Then they are called complementary angles. That means angle A plus angle B is equal to 90 degrees. Then A and B are called complementary angles. Write down. Next, write down the fourth point. If sum of two angles is 90 degrees, in the first point, and I will give two second point also. If sum of two angles is 90 degrees, if sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are called complementary angles. If sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are called complementary angles. Sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are called complementary angles. Write down this also. If A plus B is equal to 90 degrees, then A comma B are called complementary angles. If A plus B is equal to 90 degrees, A comma B are called complementary angles. Write down this point also. Complementary angle of theta is a symbol for one angle. Generally, wherever we get angle, so most of the cases we use the symbol theta. So complementary angle of theta is 90 minus theta. Complementary angle of theta is 90 minus theta. If one angle is theta, other angle will be 90 minus theta. Then that is a definition for complementary angles. Complementary angles. If sum is 90 degrees, then one is called complementary of other. Next, if sum is 180, then they are called supplementary angles. This concept we don't have in our syllabus, in our chapter, but you write this also. If sum of two angles is 180 degrees, if sum of two angles is 180 degrees, then one is called supplementary angle of other. Then one is called supplementary angle of other. Or if A plus B is equal to 180 degrees, then A comma B are supplementary angles to each other. If A plus B is equal to 180 degrees, then A comma B are supplementary angles to each other. So this is very, very important. Complementary angles. Next, now let us come in enter into this chapter. So trigonometry means the meaning of this word is trigono means triangle. Triangle. Metry means measurement. So the chapter dealing with the triangle measurements, the chapter dealing with the triangle measurements is called trigonometry. Triangles is possible in which figure? Triangle. Because in a triangle we get three angles. 1, 2, 3. Angle A, angle B, angle C. So that means, in other words, the chapter dealing with the triangles is called trigonometry. Trigonometry means the chapter dealing with the triangles. Triangle measurements. Trigonometry means triangle measurements. Triangle. Triangles are possible only in triangle. So that means the chapter dealing with the triangle is called trigonometry. We will have lot many relations between the sides of the triangle, sides and angles, relation between the angles, so many properties, relationship which we are going to study about the triangle. So that chapter is nothing but the trigonometry. Now we are writing the some small introduction for the trigonometry. Write down fifth point. Fifth point. Write down trigonometry. Trigonometry means triangle measurements. Trigonometry. Metry means measurement. Trigonometry means triangle. Tri means three. Tri. Bi means two. Tri means three. Quadra means four. Like that. Trigonometry means triangle measurements. Triangle measurement. Write down in the next word. Hence, the chapter dealing with the chapter which deals with the chapter which deals with the triangle, its angles and sides. The chapter deals with the triangle, its angles and sides is called trigonometry. That's all. The chapter which deals with the triangle, its angles and its sides is called trigonometry. So completely we get triangles, triangle, triangle, triangle. Everywhere we get the triangle. Now, but to start with, we take a right angle triangle. Even definition, properties, lot many are introduced for right angle triangle. Of course, for any triangle, so we can extend that rule for other triangles also, but this is out of our scope. So in higher classes, you may have for normal triangles also we can use these properties. Lot many properties you are going to study for the normal triangles. But in this our topic, so we always deal with the right angle triangle. So you know, if each angle of a triangle is less than 90 degrees, it is called acute angle triangle. So if one angle is more than 90 degrees, it is obtuse angle triangle. So in a triangle, if one angle is 90 degrees, it is called right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. So if In a triangle there will be 3 angles. So 1, 2, 3. If one angle is 90 degrees, it is called a right angle triangle. So this is very very important because our all the definitions are defined for this right angle triangle only. So right angle triangle, write down this definition. Right angle triangle. If one angle of a triangle is 90 degrees, if one angle of a triangle is 90 degrees, it is called right angle triangle. If one angle of a triangle is 90 degrees, it is called right angle triangle. If one angle of a triangle is 90 degrees, it is called right angle triangle. Now, this is a right angle triangle. I am naming the sides of this right angle triangle. Be careful, this is very very important. I am naming the sides of this right angle triangle. See here. So the side which is opposite to 90 degrees will be naturally bigger side. Among all these three, which is the longest, biggest side or largest side or longest side? This is the biggest side, lengthiest side. So this side opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? The side opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is the biggest side among all the three sides. Next, suppose we are, see what, if this is 90 degrees, what are the other two angles? This is one angle, this is other angle. So say this is angle A, this is angle C, or let us take it as say angle A only, angle A. This side opposite to angle A. Which side is opposite to angle A? So this is opposite to angle A. So we name it as opposite side. Opposite side means it is not a general word. Opposite to A. Opposite side to angle A. Opposite side to angle A. Most of the cases we take this angle as opposite side, but it depends on angle. If you are discussing with this angle, that is the opposite side, and the angle which is adjacent to that is called adjacent side. Adjacent side to angle A. So that means these are the three names of the sides. This is very very important. In a right angle triangle, the side opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. So the angle, the side opposite to one particular angle, suppose if I take this angle, thus this is called opposite, this is called adjacent. But if I change the angle, suppose if I take this angle, hypotenuse will remain same. But if instead of this, suppose I am discussing about angle B. For B, this will be opposite, this will be adjacent. Like that it will change. So write down. If one angle of a triangle is 90 degrees, then it is called a right angle triangle. If one angle of a triangle is 90 degrees, it is called a right angle triangle. Side opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. Side opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. Side opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. In adjacent figure, triangle ABC, which is the hypotenuse? AC is equal to hypotenuse. Write down. AC is equal to hypotenuse. What is BC? BC is called opposite side, not general opposite side. Opposite side of angle A. Write down. BC is equal to opposite side to angle A. And what is the name of this side? Adjacent side. So AB means this side. AB is this side. This is called adjacent side to angle A. But if instead of A, suppose if I take this angle, then this will become opposite, this will become adjacent. That difference you have to know. It is somewhat confusing. So we always use this opposite, this adjacent, we get practice of it. But when angle is changed to this, so this will become adjacent and this will become opposite. That difference you should know. So AC is the hypotenuse, BC is opposite side to angle A. So AB is adjacent side to angle A. So write down this name of the sides. This is very, very important. Our trigonometry basic definition starts from these three sides. Write down. Next, see, in a triangle, if two sides are known, we can find the third side. There is a perfect relation between three sides of a triangle. A relation between three sides of a triangle. So that relation, that important relation is called Pythagoras theorem, and you studied this definition in the lower classes, and even in 10th class also we in geometry. So you will get this theorem. So Pythagoras theorem, that is the relation between three sides of a triangle. See here. Opposite square plus adjacent side whole square is equal to hypotenuse whole square. This is the Pythagoras theorem. This side square plus this side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Or suppose we want only opposite square. Opposite square is equal to hypotenuse square minus adjacent square. This is taken to the right side. Or adjacent square is equal to hypotenuse square minus opposite square. Same I am writing in different ways. Or hypotenuse whole square is equal to, same I will write in this way. So opposite square plus adjacent square. See, this is a very important theorem which is useful for finding the sides of a triangle. When two sides are given, to find the third side, not exactly in the form of ratio, so we can use this principle. So if two sides are given, we can find the third side by using this formula. So opposite square plus adjacent square is equal to hypotenuse square. This is the basic formula. I can take this to the right side, or I can take this opposite to the right side, or I will write hypotenuse this side, this that side. So anyway, so same formula, only I have written 2-3 different ways. So this is very important formula rule, that is called Pythagoras theorem. What is the Pythagoras theorem? Hypotenuse square is equal to opposite side whole square plus adjacent side whole square. So other words I will write like this. AC square is equal to hypotenuse square is equal to AB square, that means adjacent square, plus BC square, that means opposite square. This is the Pythagoras theorem, and this is very important. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, or BC square plus AB square. So write this heading Pythagoras theorem and write this formula. You can write these also. You will just for practice. I took this that side, and next this that side, and I wrote this side, like the different ways I wrote, so that you will get some practice. This is the basic for theorem, or you can remember like this or like this. Both are same only. So in other words, only in terms of sides means hypotenuse square is equal to adjacent square plus opposite square. This also you write. So please write down this Pythagoras theorem and practice it. Write down. Write down this Pythagoras theorem. So one example I am giving. In triangle ABC, angle B is equal to 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees, say. AC is equal to 25, AB is equal to 8. Write down. AC is equal to 13, AB is equal to 5. Find BC. Do this. Because in solving the problems, in many cases, we need to use this relation. Many problems we need to use this relation. Just for practice, I gave a simple question. So you find this. So AC is how much? 13. And AB is 5. What is BC? That is my question. Do it. According to Pythagoras theorem, write down in full. What is the formula? AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. This is the Pythagoras theorem. In this, substitute the known values, find the unknown value. Do it. AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. So AB is 5. AB is 5. BC we don't know. We have to find. AC is 13. BC square is equal to 13 square 169 minus 5 square is 25 is 144. And BC is equal to root 144, which is 12. So that means using the Pythagoras theorem, if two sides are known, we can find the third one.